Caitlin Clark is changing the WNBA forever thanks to her unique effect on the game, but not everyone is happy about it. What is the Caitlin Clark effect? Well, before this season, WNBA teams flew commercial and could only charter flights in limited circumstances. Last season, they could charter during the playoffs, for back-to-back games requiring air travel, and for the Commissioner's Cup. Now, recently, the league announced they would be introducing a new chartering program. Beginning May 21st, all teams are now flying charter to games. That's it. That is the Caitlin Clark effect. Even Sue Bird recognizes Caitlin's greatness.
She's obviously doing amazing. Her game speaks for itself. I think my favorite part is just women's basketball, women's sports really, but women's basketball has been on the rise. And it's kind of like what Magic and Bird was to men's basketball. Like this moment, we kind of needed something.
This is that moment.
Yeah, and Caitlin's that moment.
Now, Caitlin can drastically change her environment and the environment of others around her. For example, the Las Vegas Aces, the wildly popular champions, are moving their July 2nd game against Clark's Fever from their home to a larger 18,000 capacity venue. The Los Angeles Sparks originally planned to play their first 5 home games at Long Beach State due to renovations at their usual stadium. They moved a trio of contests, which included a May 24th meeting with the Fever from the collegiate facility back to the arena that they share with the NBA's Lakers. This refers to the drastic increase in game ticket sales and revenue for the University of Iowa and the other universities that she had traveled to.
It's 15,591 fans in attendance, 105% increase compared to the average game is 76.45. And to Angel Reese, it's only 10,000 people. Can you pull up what Caitlin Clark just got? What is the Nike contract with Caitlin Clark? Nike contract, $28 million.
Yeah. The same thing was happening during her college days. The 2023 National Championship game set the women's college basketball viewership record with 9.9 million viewers. She drew casual viewers to the title game in part due to her long-range three-point shooting. The game between the Iowa Hawkeyes and LSU Tigers had celebs like LeBron James and Travis Scott watching, plus an additional 12 million viewers tuned in. It was one of the most watched college basketball games ever for men or women. Now, on March 3rd, 2024, her game against Ohio State, in which she surpassed Pete Maravich to become the NCAA Division I all-time leading scorer, averaged 3.39 million viewers. It was the most watched women's regular season basketball game on Fox and on any network since 1999. Dick's Sporting Goods announced it's selling Clark Fever apparel in all 724 of its stores, following the craze for her college merch. Now, at the conclusion of her college career, she was proclaimed the GOAT of TV ratings by the Wall Street Journal, which wrote that her impact on television viewership exceeded any other modern athlete. Simply put, Caitlin is unmatched when it comes to popularity and viewership. We really are watching a once-in-a-lifetime athlete both on and off the court. Ticket prices for the Women's Championship this year cost twice as much as the men's on average. In 2024, the NCAA signed a contract with ESPN that values the women's tournament as much as $65 million annually, more than 10 times their previous rate. Now, less than 5 years ago, it wasn't even possible to watch every game of the women's NCAA tournament on national broadcast. Her economic impact wasn't only limited to Iowa. Her influence helped sell out the Big Ten women's basketball tournament, more than doubling the attendance from the previous year. Iowa's away games averaged 13,000 fans, which is more than double the attendance for non-Iowa games at those same universities. And now the same thing is happening in the WNBA.
With her in the league, 5 games into it, we sold more merch than us all of last year. No matter how we feel about the attention she's getting, our It's being sold. People are watching us now. The fact that she's making the league more popular for the masses, it's benefiting you guys.
The 2024 WNBA draft, where the Indiana Fever selected Caitlin with the first overall pick, averaged 2.45 million viewers, the most in WNBA draft history. It was also the most watched WNBA telecast since 2000. Indiana Fever has seen dramatic increases in ticket sales and prices since Caitlin's announcement. The average price of a ticket to a Fever game is now $144, which is up 133% from last year. The get-in price for the Fever's home opener against the New York Liberty on May 16th was $487. Additionally, tickets for the draft in Brooklyn, New York sold out within 15 minutes, according to the WNBA. In fact, the Sparks, Las Vegas Aces, Washington Mystics, and Atlanta Dream moved home games against the Fever to larger arenas to accommodate public interest in Clark. Her game against the Mystics on June 7, 2024, was moved to the Capital One Arena and had an attendance of 20,333, which is the most for a WNBA game since the 2007 WNBA Finals and the fifth most for a regular season game.
Want to see the Caitlin Clark effect? Here it is. Bad team, small market, and they are worth more, the Indiana Fever, than the Los Angeles Sparks, the Dallas, Atlanta, Washington teams, and almost equal to a team in Chicago.
Caitlin's regular season debut against the Connecticut Sun on May 14th was the most watched WNBA game since 2002, and the most watched ever on ESPN2 or any cable network. On May 18th, her game against the New York Liberty set the league's ABC viewership record with 1.71 million viewers. And the following week, Clark's game set WNBA viewership marks on ESPN, ION, and NBA TV. But the term has come with its fair share of controversy as well. The role of Clark's identity in the Caitlin Clark effect has drawn scrutiny. Jemele Hill and WNBA star Asia Wilson have also highlighted the racial component of her popularity and the inequity in media coverage of black female athletes. And on top of that, you have players like Angel Reese and Breanna Stewart criticizing the media coverage. They have been arguing that the viewership records and sales are not the result of just one individual. It is the collective effort that started from the previous generation of hoopers and is now being carried forward by the current crop of talent. That talent might be spearheaded by Caitlin, but there are plenty of others who also deserve the credit. Although they do have a point, it's hard to argue with the facts. It is no mere coincidence that Caitlin's name is attached to all new record-breaking incidents. 12 out of the 13 new viewership records this season have involved Caitlin and her Indiana Fever team. That is the Caitlin Clark effect. Caitlin's ability to attract public interest and connect with fans has been likened to American singer-songwriter Taylor Swift. Her fans have been nicknamed Clarkies in reference to Swift's fan base of Swifties. And if you know anything about the Swifties, they show out for their idol. The same seems to be true for Caitlin's fans. The Caitlin Clark effect has also been compared to a rivalry between Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, which helped popularize men's basketball in the 1980s. In this case, you can see the validity of Angel Reese's argument that she deserves some recognition too, as it takes two to tango. Caitlin is also setting records in the endorsement sphere. She signed a $28 million contract that spans 8 years and includes a signature shoe. The new deal would be the richest sponsorship contract for a women basketball player. Now, we have seen some lucrative endorsements, changes in the way that teams travel, where they play, and overall interest in the game. The game between the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky was the most watched WNBA game on any network in 23 years. The last time a WNBA game pulled in these numbers, Caitlin wasn't even born yet. Others have even pointed to the fact that not only was the WNBA losing a lot of money before Caitlin got there, but many of the teams were forced to downsize. But this year, the Caitlin Clark effect is in full force. So far, Clark has lived up to her side of the deal. She is a game changer. There are more eyes on the WNBA than ever before thanks to the exceptional rookie class, which is spearheaded by Caitlin.